Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I created Magic and Miracles with one purpose only to help people understand manifestation in a very simple way. It's not easy to get there, but for it to be explained in a simple way that a child can understand it, understand how your energy very much affects it, understand how your mama drama panorama really does affect all the circumstances, people, and events that you're currently experiencing. And really to give you the tools, the really simple but very effective tools that I've created during the last 10 years of being a coach and during the last 15 years of my own journey. I took my own deep dive 15 years ago. And everything that I'm sharing in my signature coaching program is something that I have tested in my own life for sure, but also thousands of other people have tested it and they are infallible. And so this is what my signature coaching program is constructed of. And if you follow the guidance that I'll give you, in addition to the steps of the coaching, you're bound to succeed. It doesn't exist that you will not succeed. The only reason why you wouldn't is because you're either not following through on the homework, and you really are not being honest, or you rebuttaling me and this and that. You really need to come hungry to work, to rock and roll. And I work best with people who really are just really powerfully desiring change in their life, really had enough of the same cycle. Okay, so I recommend 2 to 3 months in this coaching program. First things first is to book the 1 hour session. In this hour session, we discuss how I can be of help, what it is that you're going through, all the mama drama panorama, as I've mentioned, and I ask you a lot of questions. You definitely walk away with advice that if you implement into your life, you will again succeed. And so, even from the one session, you will walk away with a lot of goodies. Now, upon conclusion of that session, we both need to decide if the match is correct, that we resonate with each other, and that this is a good investment for you. Okay, so and then afterwards, we embark on this journey of 3 times per week. I rendezvous with you via Zoom or via phone call. If you want to book all 3 months together, you could do that. I actually wrote it down. A month of coaching with me is 30 to 50. So if you booked it just on by itself, month to month, renewing every month, it's 97.50 the total. So I have a package on my website that's called the Signature Coaching Loaded Package, and it gives you quite a discount. And the discount turns out to be $900 altogether with all the 3 months combined. It's 88.50. So if you wanted to just combine the 3 months, which is more or less what it takes people, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but really, I would recommend 3 months. And again, in the first hour, we can discuss all these things. But on average, 3 months is enough. And then people usually absorb everything that they've learned and they come back 6 months from that point of completion of coaching, or maybe a year for touch up sessions. It happens. But at that point, I'm not greeted with the same person. I've quantum leaped them. I've catapulted them to another level, to another timeline, to another parallel reality because they feel differently. We process a lot of mama drama panorama in my coaching. We part with a lot of emotionality that keeps you stuck on that timeline you do not want to be. And today we'll discuss how you can go from ghosted to proposal. And this is, you know, everything is possible in that sense. Okay. Don't limit yourself by what you see right now. And don't think that it's not possible for you, because I feel like in the manifestation circle, people get so kind of numb with these stories of, oh yeah, I received a miracle overnight, and it sounds like too good to be true, or exaggerated claims, or this and that. It really isn't. It's possible if you're doing the work on yourself. Couple things I really want to mention very quickly before I go into the subject is that we also have on Wednesdays the members only lives at 3 p.m. So that package is available below. The book club, if you want the coaching audios 3 times per week. And also a recent course, a do-it-yourself course that I recorded, which is absolutely stellar. It's called the Signature Energy Course. And in it, you have 15 audios two of them are meditation, and they go through all of the circumstances, all of the things that you can encounter in your life, like SP, like money, career, that you can energetically affect, and how to do that. It guides you step by step by step, how to first get to know your energy, how to cleanse your own energy, how to send back bad energy. It goes through all of these things, and it's audios. They're anywhere from like 30, 35 minutes to an hour long. So it's a lot of information, and you would be really, really, really wise to book that package if you are advanced. This is for somebody advanced who's already kind of processed their mama drama panorama. It works even better that way. And in it, I teach you how to write a magic spell, which is symbolic name for a really, really powerful intention. Okay, so those are the packages. There are other packages on my website. The link is below. You can check them out. But essentially, one-on-one coaching is irreplaceable, as you can understand. All right, so let's dive into today's topic, from ghosted to proposal. So if you find yourself today in a situation where somebody blocked you, basically ghosted you, made you feel unimportant, made you feel unpretty or not handsome, kind of like chopped liver, etc., etc. Let's understand something, that this message first came from you. Somehow, some way, you ended up meeting this person. Yes, you started falling in love, and you thought that this was going to happen, according to your plan. But then your energy came through, and the energy started saying something completely different. Okay, hold on one second. Yes, all right. I just need to check something. The energy started to say something completely different, and essentially your fears, your insecurities came up, like it happens with a lot of people, um, and more or less sabotage this relationship. Okay, something usually clicks in with the person when they start getting excited about getting, like, I've had people in my coaching who actually got a proposal, and then the proposal got broken off and they were ghosted. So that's a whole other situation, to arrive to. But even that is not the end of the world. The message has to change. The message has to flip from "I deserve this," basically, because internally you accepted this even before you rendezvoused with this person, right? That it happened with this person is unfortunate, but again, not the end of the world. Okay, the message needs to change, and this is how you flip energetically the tables on your SP. Right now, they just are under the impression of the person that you used to be. Your job is to completely flip the script upside down. Okay. Your job is to start becoming energetically that person, okay, who can never be ghosted again, who is catered to, who is, yes, proposal worthy. But I don't even want you to idolize that. I just want you to be able to create a good relationship in your world. Okay. So, first of all, three things I'm going to mention. Okay. Let me just drink some water. So thirsty today. Um, it's the confidence you're reaching for and trying to achieve. It's a different kind of energy, other than "I deserve this, I deserve being ghosted, this makes sense." If you're really being honest, it kind of feels familiar. This ghosting situation, not getting your man or woman, not getting your way. This has happened before. So your job is to completely flip the script and get to know the other you, the golden Buddha you, which is what I call the ultimate version of yourself. Okay, the ultimate version who doesn't know what it's like to be ghosted, who only is desired and wanted and gets proposals no problem. Okay, in fact, it's a regular situation in your world. So two timelines, two different personalities that you have, that one is always kind of receiving rejection, etc. I'm sorry, that's my dog. And the other one always gets their way. Is two completely different timelines. And so it's almost like waking up from a bad dream. you could say. If you want to kind of create this metaphor or create this story in your mind, to shoehorn yourself, to start contemplating what other options are available for you to which you could quantum leap, you can start imagining that this is actually a dream, which it is. Okay. On the other side, when you go on the other side, it's more real than this reality. So you remember, just every morning that you wake up to a brand new reality. You always shoehorn yourself into this reality, into some kind of other dream. You choose to come back to this more or less a similar kind of reality for whatever reason. You're living out maybe some lessons, something you're learning, growing up, expanding, etc., etc. But nevertheless, it's a dream. So if you just hold it in position in your mind, this is just a dream. Okay, so I've dreamt not being wanted, I've dreamt being ghosted, I've dreamt of being blocked. It feels horrible, it feels completely, devastating. I'm done with playing this role. I'm done with playing into this emotion. So, remember, all that's connecting you with this reality is the emotion. The emotion of this rejection. I'm not good enough and I expect rejection, and somebody else is better than me. And all of these kinds of underneath it all pronouncements that don't let you accept for yourself what you really say you want. Okay, this is another person's story. This is another person's emotions that you no longer want to be. Now, this does not mean that you get psychotic about it and start pretending that you're another person, or refuse to acknowledge your feelings. Not at all. This is what we do in coaching. We first process the drama, trauma panorama, as I've said. And in it, you start revising is one way to say it, but offering yourself a possibility to look at the same events from the past from a different perspective. Chances are, if things have happened like 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, you had a different perspective then. You have a different perspective now. And sometimes when you are reworking these situations, you actually observe what actually happened versus what you thought happened. Okay. That really helps. But in whichever case, this cycle that you're under the impression that your subconscious is under the impression that you always get rejected and this is what you deserve is just an idea. Has nothing to do with your looks, none to do with appearance at all. It all has to do with how you're vibrating. What is the expectation? Like right now, when you're rewatching, big thumbs up and big subscribe, you are under the impression that you deserve what you have. If you really knew, if you really energetically connected to the reality where you expect to be proposed to, where you expect this person's undivided attention, where you expect this person to be gaga for you, you're no longer feeding into the emotion of, I don't have something, I'm uncomfortable. So it's a switch of energy, but of course it's happening gradually. Okay, so let me get into my notes. I gave you the synopsis. So it's like waking up from a bad dream, you could say. And it's like, to me, again, as I've mentioned in one of my past audios, it's kind of like there's an ultimate reality and there's a wannabe reality, a distorted kind of reality. Okay, there's the real, the real deal reality, the original. Okay, and then there's the kind of like the mimicking reality that is completely distorted. It's a lie. It's bogus. Okay, and essentially, your job is to realize that this is bogus and that you belong on a timeline where this dream is no longer, this bad dream no longer exists. You've woken up from the nightmare. You realize your power. You realize that you energetically gave up the power, maybe to this person, maybe to just insecurities, fears, whatever. Wherever the power is, it's not in your hands right now. And I'm telling you, when you call back the power and start really energetically being in charge, being in command, nobody, no man, no woman will ever ghost you ever fucking again. But you can only do it with confidence. So that's one. That's the synopsis. And then believe it or not, I have more notes. So they're really good notes. So stick around. So confidence, right? But this, again, this is achieved gradually. Don't look for an easy fix. Afford yourself the possibility of digging through things and realize, well, what is it I'm so insecure about? And it's usually every time I work with people, it never makes sense what they're insecure about. It makes no sense at all. They're all sweet, lovely people with wonderful qualities, look fantastic, fantastic at their jobs, etc., etc. But the confidence, it needs to be cultivated, like in noticing how wonderful you are. Maybe you weren't told as a child again, like how wonderful you are and what an accomplishment. Like for myself, I know for sure my mother criticized every single thing that I did. It was never good enough. I was a straight A student. And one time I remember coming home and the only A minus that I got was, I think it was physical activity or some gym. I hated gym, always hated gym. So I got an A minus, big fucking deal. But my mother made such a big deal about it that made me feel horrible. So you might have examples like that where your confidence in yourself was shaken, like something's wrong with me. You gotta get that shut back. Number two is claiming your spot, your place, energetically speaking. Okay, if there is a third party involved, or if they're blocking you, or if they're not talking to you, ghosting you, like your place has been taken either by somebody else or they're just not choosing you. You're not in the right place right now. Okay, because energetically you're vibrating as the person that you really are not. So I can't stress this enough, energetically disconnecting, okay, as much as you can throughout the day. If you're going to do it by yourself and not in coaching, energetically disconnecting from that timeline and more mimicking the person who is confident and who knows their worth is what's ultimately going to vibrate your SP back and then lead it to proposal. You don't need to send a smoke signal, you don't need to send a text. They will energetically get it and will be attracted and led and guided by the universe, because energetically you're vibrating differently. And so they will be guided to reach out to you, and the conversation will start and it will lead to marriage. And the third is collapsing timelines. So switching parallel timelines with deliberate destination, specificity, and vibrational address. Like, what is your vibrational address? Like, I've said many times on my previous channel, predecessor channel is linked below, by the way. I started the intro, but I think the audio was not that great in in the beginning, so I'm mentioning it again. The predecessor channel of 22,000 people is directly below. Um, Collapsing timelines with change of energy and narrative. So not just the energy. It's kind of like goes together, does it not? You start contemplating that this just may be a dream. This is just a dream. I'm so lighthearted about it. This is what it affords you to think about it as a dream. All right, so I've dreamt of a nightmare where I was not proposed to, I was ghosted. This was awful. What can I do energetically to connect to a different dream? Okay, energetically I have to start expecting, even though for people pleasers and people who have been rejected a lot, is very difficult to all of a sudden like wake up, oh yeah, I expect to be proposed to. Like me today, I do. Okay, but it took me, I did my deep dive by myself, and it took me a couple years to be like, fuck yeah, anybody would be lucky. But I want you to like really see it like there's nothing that you have to do necessarily in physicality, other than if you are going to do something in physicality, something to help your confidence grow. So, for example, if you're a people pleaser and you are always catering to other people, don't do that shit anymore. Care more about yourself, not in a narcissistic way, but like I love myself way. Okay, doing little different things to care for yourself, to make yourself feel important. All right, that grows your confidence because you're treating yourself like a special person, and everybody's going to start treating you this way. I know it's very jarring. Again, my heart goes out to you if this is your situation today, that you have been blocked and it feels like such a rejection, such a harsh rejection. Like, why would the fuck would you block me? Why would you not even say goodbye? Why would you not explain yourself? Like, that's very harsh. It's very difficult. But if you just understand this is just a dream, right? That this is a reality you've dreamt. Okay, this allows you to be again lighthearted about it. Then you can wake up just as well, choose to, whilst dreaming, wake up from that nightmare and start deciding differently. Is it going to happen right away? No. But is it going to start the wheel turning? Yes. And is it better than doing nothing? Obviously. Okay, so waking up from the bad dream. So let me get into my notes now. Sorry, I'm so thirsty today. Excuse me. Guys, big thumbs up and big subscribe. So let's be real, ladies and gentlemen. This is something is I see it like a deal, like sealing the deal. Okay? I think that what you really want here is to be a very good representative of yourself. Okay? So far, you haven't. And you haven't closed this deal of a proposal of being with somebody, having a good relationship, because you haven't represented yourself well. Because you haven't believed in yourself, and vibrationally, you're playing timid, playing less than. Okay? Your aura will speak for itself. And so, like I said, whatever you're going to do, whatever you can do to help yourself feel better, it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh my God, go make $1 million overnight, or oh my God, go drop 30 pounds overnight. But although, it helps to take care of yourself. So, in that sense, whatever you can do immediately to start helping yourself feel better about who you are, forget about the SP situation for a second. That's where you start. Okay, investing in yourself, that's making yourself feel better so that your vibration goes up and so you can start dreaming a better dream. That's what it's all about. Okay, so far you have not been such a good representative of yourself, because let's face it, you haven't been authentic to yourself. So what, like, really, it's a good time to ask a lot of questions like, what do I really want my life to look like? Like, aside from SP, okay, what do I really want to eat for lunch? Where do I really want to live? How do I really see my world? What do I really want to do for a living? It isn't just, it seems like it's just SP, but it really fucking isn't. It's everything. It's your self esteem, it's your confidence, it's what you're settling for at the moment. If you are being ghosted and blocked, your self-esteem is in the toilet. I hate to be the bearer of harsh words, as I say, but it's reality, and I've been there. And the only way up is to start fishing yourself out of it. Okay? What represents me best? I have not been a good representative to my SP because, in all honesty, this desperate person is not you. People can sense desperation like from a mile away. It doesn't matter if it's in business or really, personal relationships, romantic relationships. So if that's your vibrational representation of yourself, then you understand how you would be blocked or rejected, etc., etc. Right? So that though does not represent you at all. That's not your true essence. So in fact, you're lying to the universe, to your SP, pretending you're desperate. You're not fucking desperate. Look at you. You have everything in the world going on. You're just not appreciating yourself and all your energies with this fucking SP. That's what the majority of the people who are working on bringing back their SP, whatever, anything with SP, is that so much fucking energy is going out toward that fucking SP. It's like, why? What about you? All your power is with some other person who feels, I'm sure, flattered, energetically speaking, but you need that power for your manifestations. You need to bring it all back. Energetic chasing is also chasing. Okay, so bring it all back and start focusing on your own world. What you want to do. What is the frequency that represents you the most? Again, what am I eating for lunch? What would I rather? This is a great opportunity to redo my life, top to bottom. This is what I do in coaching. This is a great opportunity to unfuck my world, okay? I am so fed up with being ghosted, with being left behind, no fucking proposals. I need to redo my frequency top to bottom. I need to start becoming valuable to myself, where I can look at myself in the mirror and honestly say, well done. And again, notice, has nothing to do with becoming a different person in like physically, okay, or even with money, although it will be, I mean, money will just come, as your frequency rises, money will just come. It's normal and natural that you have money, okay? But energetically, you start really loving yourself, loving being in your skin, loving doing the things that you do. And so, whatever that represents in your world, that authenticity, that's something that brings you joy, is the pathway, okay, to getting your SP back, to getting that proposal. You need to be energetically fun to be around. When you're desperate, it's a very low vibration. And that's where you rendezvous with these kind of situations of being ghosted. You would ghost somebody too, I'm sure. Even the loveliest of persons can be, you know, can be driven to behave in this way. Okay, because I know people pleasers have been one. You overshare, you overgive your energy, you overtry. It's a little desperate. You got to pull it back, pull it back, pull it back. Remember that if you are this way, I understand it because I've been there. Okay, you are an empath. It's natural for you to like want to give, give, give. In the real world, though, people don't fucking appreciate that shit. Okay? Only if you're dealing with another empath, probably. So you gotta, and coupled with, if you're an empath, your energy is fucking gold. So just remember those two things. You're not like everybody else. You're an empath. That's why you feel this. But remember the temptation when you have the temptation to overgive, over accommodate, and this and that, pull back. It's so nice to pull back and watch the other person try a little bit, right? So the same happens with the energy. When so much energy went the fuck out, this is you trying, thinking, reminiscing, worrying, crying, God forbid. Again, my heart goes out to you. I've been there, okay? This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I swear to God. um all that energy does not belong with that person, belongs with you, making yourself whole. Even without this person, that fucker needs to come back and beg you and apologize to you for ever fucking putting that thing on his or her phone blocked. Who the fuck do you think I am? I don't roll like that. So even like, you see, your perspective will change when you'll start investing in yourself in whichever way. Maybe you're not doing that right now. I mean, obviously you're not, right? If your energy is low, you're not appreciating who you are just on your own, autonomously. You know how sexy that shit is? I gotta tell you, this I learned in my life. This is why I help people in my coaching. Anytime somebody asks, like, to help build their business, I've helped innumerable people build their business, small businesses, etc., because it builds your fucking confidence. You feel like you have your sovereignty. You feel like you have a piece of life within you, like a piece of ownership of your life. You're not this lost little whatever without any sense in life. It anchors you. It transforms you energetically. And then your SP will find you irresistible when you're about yourself, not in a narcissistic way. Like all of this, I'm saying not in a narcissistic way at all. Just in offering yourself love that you so desperately need. But at this moment in time, I have this to say, like, your parent isn't going to come and give you this love. You need to give this love to yourself so you can be a better representative to your SP. And thus that they can treat you differently. But this aura you can put on today of being the best representative. Now, you're not maybe feeling this way, but incrementally you will start feeling more and more like this person. So let me just follow my notes. Right. So, number one, for those taking notes, you can't be the same person ghosted or blocked and achieve the same result. Like energetically, you cannot be the same person. You cannot come from resentment. You cannot come from, oh my God, this is horrible. This is terrible. Whatever you have to say to yourself. And again, this is why revising everything that happened before, or even going back to your childhood, to previous relationships, really, really helps, because you can, like a mathematician and like a geometrist or whatever, you can literally like see and follow through all the, like the dot, you can connect the dots of how the fuck this shit happened. Okay, so you cannot be the same person. Energetically, there needs to be some kind of a shift, and you need to come to some conclusions where it's like, okay, I can be resentful right now. I can really hate this person for ghosting me, or I can once and for all understand why this happened, figure out within me that I am in the room by myself creating this reality. Okay, so figure out why they ghosted you, not the conversation itself. Okay, not the conversation when the last conversation, not you trying to figure out what you did wrong in the literal sense, like what you said, what they said. No, forget all that. It's about the energy behind it, the energy and the actual thought form behind it. Like it had nothing to do with the exchange, had nothing to do with what you have to offer, had nothing to do with how you are, who you are. It's all about the energy, like the energy that was corresponding with them way before this happened. Okay, so that's for you to figure out. So in that sense, it's like if you see yourself every morning getting up and being like in front of a holographic computer, okay, and what is it that you're sending out towards this person? It becomes crystal clear, like what kinds of results to expect. So if every morning you got up and you were worried about losing this person, you were worried about if there's somebody else, you were worried about a million things, and then you were telling yourself, nasty things like, oh my God, I'm this or I'm that. I don't look that great. They're going to find out this about me and they're not going to like me. All this stuff, it needs to go. You need to like really make good with it and energetically show up as, I'm one of a kind. You'd be lucky to have me. And really mean it. Like, know how irreplaceable you are, that your energy is unique. And that's where, like whether they blocked you or there's a third party, it doesn't matter. I mean, they blocked you for a reason. Maybe there is somebody else, maybe there isn't. I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter. They're not with you. But energetically, the communication needs to change. If they can have like five third parties right now, and if your energy shifts to and your dialogue shifts to, you know what? I know we had our differences and this and that, whatever the case might be. But right now, I'm making up my mind to energetically pulsate as the most confident person in the world. And I know this is easier said than done, which is why I offer coaching. The energy behind whatever you'll say, it doesn't fucking matter what you'll say. You see, this is where, people or SPs rather hang on your every word. They don't like, you can do no wrong. Don't be abusive in that sense, but you can do no wrong. And they hang on your every word. They lick jam off your toes because it's the energy that keeps them around. Like a bumblebee, like bzz, 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 bzz. You're the fucking honey. So, but now you're right now, your energy is not like that. You don't feel like a fucking honey situation. You feel, I don't know what, you feel pretty yucky. So make yourself the honey. And with the energy work and my coaching that I teach, that nobody teaches the way that I do, really, really nobody, is really, really powerful. And you can create all sorts of visualizations, and I help people custom make them. It's not just a visualization, it's an energy work situation. So I can't really explain it even if I wanted to, because for each person is individual. So but nobody can replace you. So getting to know your authenticity. And again, guys, like many times I rewatch my videos and lives and I'm like, I wish I had better words, but these are the best words I've got, because when I'm channeling right now, like I'm seeing visions and I'm trying hard to like explain how I see it. So hopefully that I'm doing it. Okay. You're you're getting to know your energy, your authentic energy that is irresistible. Capiche? Like totally fucking irresistible. You don't even understand right now your authentic energy, like how you really want to be, what you really want to do. This is the golden Buddha energy. Hello, how are you? If you stick to this program, first of all, you might reevaluate if you want to this as back after all. You might meet somebody else, but the truth is, you will be happy. You will never be ghosted again. Okay, your energy is so authentic and unique, like nobody in a million fucking years can replace you or ghost you. You just don't know your worth. You just don't understand how precious you are right now. Really, truly. Nobody can be you, and you should know this. This is the truth. This is not a fucking compliment. You should know this truth and stop robbing yourself of experiences, quite frankly. Okay, let me just keep with the notes. So turn the tables. So becoming a different person energetically and emotionally. Emotionally, this devastation, this desperation, this loneliness, this sadness needs to go. It needs to be replaced with something completely different if it is your commitment to live out something completely different. Now, once in a while, you will slip up. You will be always in between two worlds. In one world, I'm ghosted. In another one, I'm being proposed to. In between, I'm doing my journey situation and I'm adjusting my frequency, okay? Incrementally, but very deliberately. And again, in coaching, like this is what's great about coaching is that when you have somebody by your side, you're ultra focused. I'm not going to give you a chance not to be focused. It's my job kind of situation. So, but when you are deliberate in this way and you don't go back to the old world so much and you're so focused on the new world, it can literally happen in a very short period of time. Like it never happened in your life. I'm not making exaggerated claims, as they say on YouTube. First of all, what's exaggerated claims? Things that you haven't lived out that seem unfortunately really foreign to you. That's what an exaggerated claim is. Oh my God. Pathetic. Anyway, so you can't be the same person. Turning the tables on your SP, you right now, you feel ghosted, you feel undesirable, you feel as you would. But let me tell you something. If somebody did that to me right now, like let's just say I was dating and somebody ghosted me, I'd be like, whatever. I would not, my mind would not go directly to I'm undesirable. No, never in a million years. It would not go to they don't want to talk to me. It would not occur to me to translate that action into this. I would think a million other things. They died. I don't know. you know, they went to the hospital. I don't know, they went to the moon. Maybe they're working. Maybe this. Maybe their phone dropped in the toilet. It doesn't matter. I'm not waiting in that sense. But you see how, like, when you constructing your own vision, when you're insisting on your own reality, I'm always desirable. So if somebody's not talking to me, something must be happening that is completely unrelated to me because I know nobody fucking ghosts me. I know I'm so desirable that anybody on my frequency wants to work with me, wants to be with me, wants to dooba 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 doo, wants to be around me. Okay, so it doesn't exist. So then you would translate whatever is happening right now in a softer way and then descending from the desperate pedestal and ascending to a different pedestal where you're like, you know what? Maybe I'm misinterpreting the situation to begin with. And because it's such a match, it's so similar to what you used to see before in your reality. You immediately just no questions asked, you start interpreting it as the other mama drum panorama that you lived. What if you pause for a second and start reconsidering this? What if you pause for a second and start reinterpreting it? Again, everything can be reinterpreted in your favor and thus become in your favor. Like, if right now you started interpreting it, you know what? They're probably busy. And you're going to tell me, yeah, it's been months, Anna. But all right, darling, but have you been desperate for months? How about try a different approach? Maybe they were busy for months. Sometimes people hit certain situations. You don't know, something is going on. In other words, don't make it about you not being valuable. Give a different interpretation. This will help you tremendously and will be true in that reality. Maybe in the reality, listen, I'm not going to argue. Maybe in the reality you are in right now that you ended up in because of your mama drama panorama, they really don't want to talk to you for whatever dumb reason. I don't know. Because that's the energy you gave out. You don't want to talk to me. You'll probably leave me. You'll probably ghost me. But in the reality that you will transport yourself to, where you interpret things differently, they do want to talk to you. And that's the only fucking person you're interested in to begin with. Okay? So you see how it's all malleable. You're never stuck in the same, like I said in the beginning, you always, when you wake up in the morning, you shoehorning yourself into a brand new reality of choice, and you choose to, for whatever reason, to come back to the same more or less reality. Choose another reality on purpose. Sometimes I do these things when I really want to quantum leap big time, in addition to the other work that I'm doing in the waking state. Obviously, I think most of the work you need to do in the waking state. Sometimes when I go to sleep, I would say, I'm going to sleep in the old reality and I'm waking up in the new one. Okay, it's like the full moon was the other day. Oh, I really wanted to recommend this incense real quick from Salisis, my favorite. The new moon, apropos. Oh my God, so wonderful. Just the most wonderful incense they've got, don't you know? Fresh start and new beginnings. What we're talking about now. It's very flowery, very powerful, but not overpowering. Very womanly. Not a girl, like a woman kind of situation. I think you understand. Very powerful. Kind of so let me go get back to notes, otherwise we'll be here all day. Turn the tables energetically on your SP and make yourself desirable. Make yourself desirable. Convince your own mind. Everybody else is already convinced all around you that you're a wonderful person. The only person that's not in on the story is you. Okay, you already are. You just got to match up your consciousness with what's really going on here and stop playing less than. It doesn't fucking serve you. Abandon that shit. Okay. So the next thing is so important, and this I really, I really want to explain the way that I heard it in my meditation the other day. Dialoguing with that reality. Okay, so like people always ask me like, how do I stay in that reality? How do I not wiggle or whatever? Yo. You start, first of all throughout this journey, be gentle with yourself. Have a destination, there's that, but don't insist that it should happen in a certain amount of time, and be genuinely curious about the process. Then the process becomes shorter and you learn so much and you feel actually satisfied and happy throughout it. Believe it or not, that's the truth. That's how I go through my challenges and this and that. Okay, but or quantum leaps, I should say, as well as challenges. Dialoguing with that reality. So you very softly start a dialogue with the reality. Let's just say, of right now you're blocked or whatever, ghosted, they're not talking to you, or maybe it's just not the relationship you want, all right? Doesn't have to be so radical. And you gently, after processing, hopefully, the drama mama panorama and any kind of resentment that you might have, because it will work better. If you don't have the resentment, it's just the energy is clear again. You're not resisting it. You don't have any bad vibe to send to this person. And so the signal is clearer. Okay. Dialoguing with this person, it's kind of like you introduce a conversation to this reality. It's kind of like, okay, it's this reality, and I'm kind of starting to pick up on the emotion of what it's like to be proposed to. And it's kind of like you telling the reality, would you like to sing with me, kind of deal. It's like you're trying to find the harmony between like here and there, right? And the first introduction is like you telepathically or kind of like emotionally, you start saying to the reality, would you like to sing with me, kind of situation. And then reality says, yes, I would like to sing with you. And then you go, okay, tell me about yourself. Do. And so this dialogue happens throughout, days, weeks, months, whatever it'll take you. But as you're conversing with this reality, you're starting to telepathically pick up on things, start becoming more of that person. You get inspired to go places, you get signals and messages, and all that it does, it brings you closer and closer to that version that will be proposed to. And so this is the telepathic conversation that if you're meditating and you're taking the time in the morning to converse with your spiritual squad, you will hear, you will know that your process is working because you're getting telepathic feedback from that reality. This is so important. If you'll grasp that, like your manifestations will not be arduous. It's not going to be about the waiting game. It's not going to be none of this shit. Okay, this is popularized by all these coaches out there. It's really so painful to watch. Like seriously, the word salad galore. It's a conversation between realities. I'm over here, I want to jump over there. What it's like over there, tell me all about it. You start getting the signals and you start receiving the wisdom and knowledge that keeps you connected to that reality, and therefore you start caring less and less about what's going on over here because you're so encouraged by what they're showing you, your guides, the angels, whatever you want to call them. They will give you the signs that what you're doing is fucking working, and it will be like a replica. Like, let's just say, I don't know, you're telepathically starting to send and you now reach this maybe comfort zone where you can start talking to your SP telepathically. All throughout this process, they're not talking to you, but you're welcome to talk to them telepathically. And you start saying to them, I was really upset with you, but now I'm okay, whatever. Even though they haven't apologized yet, but they will, don't worry. And you start saying to them, I think that you want to marry me. I think that not only do you want to apologize, I think that you want to marry me. And just put that thought in there. Okay. And start like you yourself maybe not believing it yet, but you're introducing this again. Would you like to sing with me? And SP is going to be like, I would like to sing with you. They're going to start telepathically communicating with you. You have access to their consciousness like 24/7 just by willing to communicate purely. Now, use this benevolently. Always, as I always instruct all my clients and my watchers and listeners, never do something that hurts another person. It's just going to boomerang right back. What's the use? It doesn't matter how long ago. Listen, karma is real. It's gonna catch up, no problem. So always use it benevolently, but at some point you will feel like you're comfortable and you're in the zone of your telepathically communicating with this reality, with this version of SP. And so day after day after day, you can track your progress through something being replicated in your 3D. Like, let's just say you said, you want to marry me. And the next day you see some ad for wedding gowns or something. And but before you haven't seen that before, or something very specific, like maybe there's certain words that you guys use for each other, or like nicknames or whatever, or maybe it's a special word that they always use or whatever, or literally a whole sentence that has happened to me before and to other people, I'm sure. A whole sentence is reproduced on a billboard, on a sign, Instagram post, wherever, where it's like replicated what you were sending to them. This is that reality talking back. And so this is how you know it's working, because you're working it, you're orchestrating a new situation. But notice, darlings, how much easier is this versus, is it working? I'm worried. What the fuck is there to be worried about? Or I'm waiting. Nothing to wait for. It's the only thing is like, yeah, there's the time delay, but in the time delay, how the time delay really serves you as you're being this artist Okay, not but like I'm enjoying the unfolding. Notice the flow, right? The difference and with the flow that you will go. This is what's going the flow means, because you're not in a rush, because you're wise enough that in the process you're adjusting your frequency so that you can hold on to this something, not just to manifest it. Like so many people, again, so hung up on instant manifestation is ridiculous. There is no such thing as instant manifestation, meaning like I just said it and I wasn't ready, I wasn't prepared with my energy, and boom, it came. Like the, you know what I mean? Like I think there's a lot of misadvertisement again there. And never did I ever say that everything is instantaneous. In fact, my very coaching program speaks opposite to that. I don't know where people got that idea. A lot of misinformation out there, guys. So I'm just gonna keep talking about it because I really want people to get to know the real me, not what a lot of haters try to desperately construct because they just, I don't know. I think it's really weird to not wish somebody well and not want somebody to succeed. Like there's enough for everybody. You don't have to take other people's stuff to be successful. You can just create your own, and not like bully a person to death because you're so insecure and you don't have your own ideas. Okay, that's not a reason to do that. So anyway, this is how incrementally you achieve and you hold on to that something. And this is how it serves you. And in the process, you really learn your power. If you're doing this process the way that I'm describing, okay, you really, really know how to do it again. You're never again left in doubt. Okay, you're never again left in any kind of doubt how to do it over again. So when you're depressed, when you are feeling sad, when you are feeling like you don't have something, you can always go back to this and say, I can start talking to this reality all over again. I can restart the dialogue. I can certainly manifest this all over again. But why do be up and down? Just hold on to this reality and never cease the dialogue. The dialogue is always there. Are you continuing the dialogue? And are you influencing then the changes, right, within SP's mind, curating their thoughts? Okay, curating their thoughts. All right, this is what you're thinking today. This is what you're going to do next. This is what your move is next. These are your thoughts. They have no choice but to oblige to what it is you're saying. Because you're alone in the room, you're constructing a new dream in which you're going to be proposed. There's nothing else going on completely. So again, this thus incrementally achieving access to that timeline and making it your home base, incrementally achieving acceptance of the idea in your own mind. Achieving that acceptance is all that's holding you back. This is the fundamental reason they ghosted you and blocked you, because you haven't accepted this relationship as being a done deal, as being yours and nobody else's. It's not such a big deal to get the proposal, is that you have not showed up with the assumption is that yes, this happens to me all the time. This happens all the time, and this is not such a big deal, and I totally easily accept it. Now you're going to work yourself towards it incrementally, and you're going to achieve again this situation of this is the real me now. Like, I don't know how to say it. Like, when you get there, it's like it's always been like this. You're going to feel like I have nothing to do with the past version that used to cry like a melting ice cream on the floor. I have absolutely nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that at all. I can't believe I used to live like this. I can't believe I used to let people ghost me. My energy is completely different. I have nothing to do with that person. Okay? So, and thus incrementally achieving your SP to be whatever you want them to be, for them to do whatever you want them to do. And so the two things become super important, okay, for those taking notes. This is a loaded live. I'm gonna probably stay past the hour. Um, controlling your own mind. Control your own mind with precision. No matter, you're gonna have bad days. so-called bad days where you revert to the to the reality you don't prefer. Bad reality, if you want to call it that. There's no bad things. Are you learning anything in the process? You're going to revert back to that, but controlling your mind goes like, even in the worst moment, I have my destination. My destination is, whether I believe it in that moment or not, whether I'm slipping up or not, I know that I do have the power to go back mentally and emotionally to that reality. Again, incrementally, you will get to know that reality, and only you will know what that feels like, what that reality feels like for you. And again, the acceptance of it being gradual, because for people pleasers, it's so uncomfortable to suddenly be accepted, suddenly be loved. In all honesty, it's uncomfortable for you. This is exactly why you don't have it, naturally so, because you're resisting it. And so controlling your mind, and even in the worst moment, this is my destination, even though right now it's hard for me to accept it as my new normal. I'm committed. I'm committed like a bulldog, like a stubborn motherfucking donkey. This is where I'm going. This is where I'm going. This is where I'm going. Basta ka basta. And controlling your emotions. It's a little too easy, right? To lose your cool, to start crying, this and that. Understand that, yes, process the emotions, process the mama drama panorama, but then how much do you let your past reality, your past world of being ghosted and blocked influence your decision making now? Okay, and influence your emotional state. So the emotion again needs to be detached, and then controlling the emotions throughout so that you can go over into the other timeline where this emotion is foreign. It doesn't belong because you're living out a completely different reality. No longer are you this person who is blocked. That therefore, why are you feeling like you're ghosted? You're not ghosted. You're being proposed to. You, in fact, everything's going your way. Put your body into the state. Allow for it to feel in your meditations, in your, morning routines. Give yourself a taste of that reality. Okay, Joe Dispenza talks about it endlessly. Just allow yourself to even rendezvous with that reality and give yourself a taste, like I said, like Joe Dispenza says. That's it. And then visit this as much as you can and control, like literally, like when you go on a diet for a specific reason, maybe it's weight loss, maybe it's something else, like you do not eat certain foods, let's just say. You don't engage in those emotions anymore. After processing all the mama drama panorama and understanding all the reasons why you manifested it, then you start insisting on, I no longer eat this emotion. I no longer participate in this world because I want to be a part of this world over here. And sure, the old reality will put up a riot, and the old beliefs and the old emotions, they've gotten cozy with you, and you've kind of, in a very dysfunctional way, gotten cozy with them. But the reality is, this cannot continue. Okay, this stops here. You have to be really deliberate about it. And a couple words that I wrote down, should have mentioned in the beginning, but I have so many notes. Resolve. Resolve, absolute resolve. I'm done with this shit. And this is the kind of I've had enoughness that keeps you in control of your emotions and keeps you in the regiment of, I'd rather be over here. This is my decision. I've decided. God damn it, I'm committing to it. Excuse me. Okay. Control your own emotions. You'll be a very successful timeline traveler, is what I wrote down. Funny. Okay, let me take a look at my notes really quick. Right. And one day you'll wake up 100% knowing this reality is yours. And it always has been. See, this is the thing, like that reality is right next door to you. Thank you for the thumbs up. More thumbs up, please. Big thumbs up and big subscribe. Um where was I? I got sidetracked. One day you wake up knowing this is actually your reality. It exists right here, right now, not even next door. It's here, present now. The whole shebang is changing your emotional attachment to the reality you don't fucking prefer. And of course, for a human, it's like asking, shave your head kind of situation. I don't know, it's difficult, it's kind of radical, but incrementally you can do it, and really in the process letting go of things that, like, not for nothing, your whole lifetime you're carrying around. This is why the cycles. Okay, let me keep going with the notes. Right, and then waiting, worrying becomes irrelevant. We already covered that. um Sorry, one second. What it really comes down to is, yes, the dialogue with the parallel reality and timeline. But what you really have to become is a very powerful storyteller who tells good stories about their life. You can weave, I'm sure you've heard this before, but more and more I'm thinking about it, like, lately. It's all about a story, not lying, but choosing another parallel reality. You can tell any story right now. The kind of stories you tell about yourself, it's like none of them are really true, you understand? This reality doesn't actually exist. So you can tell any fucking story. Again, big distinction. Not that you're psychotic and lying and fabricating shit. No, you can tell any story about the kind of world you want to live in. I want to live in a world where I get paid for being me. I want to live in a world where my SP is gaga for me. And it makes no fucking sense because it has never happened to me. But how you like me now, I'm telling a different story. Okay? So, but look, in your ears right now, it sounds like, oh my God, this is so unreachable. But it is very much reachable for the individual and the version of you over there. Very much reachable because they know the story so intimately. They've downloaded this frequency, and that's the only shit that they expect. Another one, I'll give you this, and I'm sure you might have heard it before because through hypnosis and this and that, it's one of the things that I've never had hypnosis done on me, but other people who offer things like that, offer visualizations, like um, talking to your past self, right? In your past life. Now you can do the same thing and rendezvous with the version who you'd rather be and ask them questions. You can actually hear answers back. I'm not fucking crazy. You can connect to that consciousness and even ask it advice. Hey, how do you live? What would you do now? You will hear maybe not immediately if you haven't been meditating like all that often, but eventually you will, and you will have this telephone with that other reality, with like, what are you doing in this situation? How do I do this? And so then you merge with that reality, with that person. Okay, so controlling your emotions and controlling your mind, so important. If you can do that, if you can control your emotions and your mind, you're gonna be like flying on top of the world. You're gonna be unbeatable. Doesn't matter what happens around you. You can, again, you're gonna be said the world's best parallel time traveler. Okay, you're gonna be like total rock star because you see how it works, right? If you don't let shit affect you, you're free to go to some other timeline. If you let shit affect you, you're stuck there. That's as simplistic as that's gonna be the shortest short when I edit this out. Yeah, and apologies if you're watching from the beginning. The echo cancellation wasn't there for just a brief second, but I'm gonna edit it out later. I'm gonna edit out what I just said too. Anyway, number 4. Start making decisions for the both of you, meaning your SP and you. Now, listen, when I say this again, this has nothing to do with God complex or being narcissistic. This is just being, again, loving towards yourself and choosing the parallel reality you really want to reside in. That's it. So, of course, you're going to make the decision for the both of you. It's not like they don't have, you're not going to treat them nicely or you're not going to be a nice person to them. But you're going to make a decision what you want from them, and that's the only thing that you will accept. So, like, again, I'm trying to explain this like best way I can. Some people have like really kind of the feeling very defensive sometimes in my coaching, and they say, Anna, I will not accept anything else. You don't have to, like, really adamantly, I'm not going to accept anymore. I'm not. You don't have to. You don't have to. If it's your decision to not accept anything other than, then that's the only reality that will show up that you prefer. But you see, like, if you are saying it like this in a very defensive manner, it tells me that you are still charged emotionally over here with the rejection. So part with that idea that you have to even fight it. You could just like drop it like piece of trash, okay? And then engage with something beautiful. You don't have to still, you know what I mean? Like exhaust this emotion. It's bothering you. It's bothering you because it has no resonance with you, with your true self. Okay. So start making decisions for the both of you. Be bold enough to do that. And don't think that you're overriding anybody's free will. All realities already exist, so you're not. um like, we're getting married, or you want to marry me. You dropping that thought into their mind and then conducting yourself throughout the day like this shit is brewing in this guy's head or in this girl's head, like that they are also being massaged into thinking that, meanwhile you're the one massaging your own mind to believe all the things that you want to believe now so that you come in resonance with that reality yourself. But you're really working on yourself, but it seems like the illusion is that yes, you're sending out telepathically the thoughts to your universe and thus everybody obliges. But you're really kind of coming to terms with getting back on your throne, getting your crown back, because right now you don't have your crown on your head. You need to put it back the fuck up. You're only frustrated because no decision is being made, okay? Because you accept, okay, this is somebody else made the decision for me, that I'm being ghosted, that I'm not being wanted. That's a decision to interpret that this is what it means. But what if I want to make a different decision that pleases me more? How much better off I am, and how much more of a chance I have then to jump into that reality. You see what I'm saying to you? Like, you don't need to suffer right now. That you're suffering is entirely optional. Okay, you're only frustrated because no decision is being made by you about what you want and sticking to it. Just make the decision. I want them to marry me, or I want us to move in, or I want them to drop the third party. That's it. That's your job. The rest of the time, your time is best occupied by serving yourself, by taking care of you, by taking care of your vibration, all the while telepathically, and then becoming the telepathic genius, quite frankly, who's creating this holographic universe which you're about to step into or join, merge, however you want to say it, in its most beautiful orchestration. All right. This is reality, guys. You can achieve this, I mean, within 3 months for sure, if you work diligently, that is. And if you're really, I mean, if you're honestly hungering after this, right? If you really like are fed up with not getting what you want, not getting the proposal, not even getting a call or a text, you owe this to yourself. You need to flip the script, whatever you want to turn the tables, however they say it, energetically you need to become more important, not them. Energetically you need to bring yourself back here, start constructing the story, start making the decisions, and make it inevitable in your mind. And that kind of work, it's an inside job. You cannot, it's not enough text that you're going to send to your SP to convince them, don't do that, never do that. It's not enough anything that you can do in the outside. Don't waste your fucking time. All right. And most certainly, not necessarily, like I said, to wait or worry or be afraid. That's also a waste of time. But again, easier said than done. The most productive of things is right now, I don't know, if you're laying in bed, take a shower, brush your teeth, put on some nice clothes, go somewhere, do something productive with your day and start figuring out, how am I going to become vibrationally a match to somebody who's the hottest chick in the game or the hottest dude in the game. That's my whole shebang. It's not to get approval from your SP, not to get a gold star from them. Not, no, you're doing it for you. to once and for all to flip the script and turn the tables on not only your SP but the entire fucking reality. Anybody who's there, because I bet you money it's not just your SP who does shit like that or disrespects you or whatever, whatever, whatever. Within your intimate world, that's what I'm talking about here. I don't think you can be held accountable for the entire world, right? So the energy, it really, really needs to change. It really needs to change, that you expect it, that you're no longer working hard for it, that it comes on automatic. Okay, any questions, guys? I'm just check my notes. Yeah. Okay, I think I've said it all. So I know this is like a huge topic, and maybe we'll do more than one live, or maybe I'll record other audios on this topic. But no matter the situation right now, know that you can completely turn it around. This SP will come back to you. SP will start to bombard you. This SP will propose to you. If you act smart, and if you're vibrating smart, if you don't do stupid shit like chasing and texting a million times, don't act desperate. For the lack of better verbiage, if I'm letting you go with anything, don't act desperate. Don't think desperate. Don't vibrate desperate. Whatever you got to do to take yourself out of this desperation and to more towards self-appreciation and appreciation of everything you see around yourself, and really, again, controlling your thoughts and emotions towards the delivery of your dream and wish, you're golden. You're golden. All right, guys. Thank you very much for those who joined and those rewatching. Big thumbs up and big subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Ciao, cacao. Big kiss.